Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Okay, guys, this article was published on the 9th of December, which I guess is today. It basically impresses on the readers the need to have contingencies in place and being sensible in the event of a nuclear fallout. In fact, it tells us that 8 countries are seriously um, putting in place um, precautionary measures and are also informing their citizens of what to do in the event of a nuclear fallout. This is something that's very serious and on the horizon. I have been impressing on our beloved ulama ikram for quite a while now. This is something that we need to seriously consider. In fact, I've shared a book with you which is very comprehensive, and it's not something that I just stumbled across um, 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 lightly. In fact, it took a lot of research over the years for me to get to that particular book itself. I came across a lot of content in all sorts of places. That seemed to be the most comprehensive book that I could come across. Again, we've got, I guess, organizations, and subhanallah, even let's say, for instance, the um, Waqaful Ulama, or even the Dar Ulum, subhanallah, they have, these sort of departments where they could make light work of that book. It's 300 pages, but subhanallah, if we could condense that and create a booklet for the ummah to benefit from. And the only reason I say that is there is nothing out there, and they don't intend to make it available to the ummah. Part of their scheme, Nauzubillah min zalik, is to reduce the population globally and cause that kind of psychological trauma in order to be able to impress on the ummah what they have got planned thereafter. And there's a lot. We've discussed a lot. I won't discuss it here. I want to keep this very, very specific and to the point. And if you look over here, subhanAllah, um, and this isn't to pass the buck, whomever, there's many, many ulama who are on the distribution list. If Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala places it in your heart and inspires you that way, then please consider it seriously and help, because I'm overwhelmed with the um, studies and the research, and it's coming in very hard and fast. There's a lot of stuff that I have to filter through, and I don't even end up sharing with you guys. Subhanallah, there's so much going on, and I want to make sure that it's something that you can digest, despite the fact that you might think that I'm already overwhelming you guys with a lot of information throughout the day. And alhamdulillah, thumma alhamdulillah, I really appreciate your patience as well. But um, if I could, I'd share a lot more. There's just so much coming in, and it's just me, myself, and I. So there's not much that I can do in way of like trying to put that booklet together. But I'm sure you'll agree with me now that subhanallah, we've reached a stage where this is a very serious possibility, and it'll be a huge khidmah. I can't even begin to measure how much of a great khidmat it will be for the ummah. And may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala accept it of any one of you, subhanallah, who may consider spearheading it and putting it together. It won't take long, subhanallah. There's all it is a bit of initiative. But if you look over here, you've got South Korea, you've got China, right? We have Japan, we have Australia, we have Hawaii, we have Guam, we've got the US mainland, we've got Russia. All of these countries are seriously putting in measures. I'll leave a link to this article, by the way, and it's very thoroughly researched. Uh, uh, they're putting contingencies and measures in place with a very real possibility of a nuclear war happening. Now, this portion of the article is something that certainly is very useful information. There's also mention of iodide tablets. I have touched base on this here and there with some of you, and I certainly recommend it. It's on Amazon. Purchase it. It'll help because when there's a nuclear fallout, the most vulnerable part of our anatomy is our thyroid, and it picks up the nuclear radiation. This helps reduce that. So it's certainly something that will be very scarcely available in the event that this happens. So it'd be good to have that in place just as a contingency measure and in the inventory at home. Anyway, I'll leave this article as well, subhanAllah. Again, this is just to impress on our beloved ulama ikram the serious and desperate need to consider putting a condensed booklet together for curbing the effects of a nuclear fallout and sharing that with the Ummah. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala accept it of you and me. Again, Jazakallah khair wa ahsana jaza for your time. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.